While I said I never really got into Shrek 2, and I always sort of thought it really blows. The Owl House, I think, is one of the greatest. God, I don't even want to say Disney films, just films in general. I remember seeing the trailers for it, and I was friggin' blown away by it. Why? Because everything is done perfect. The main character is perfect, the villain is perfect, the romance is perfect, the songs are perfect. Even the design of the cow. Look at that thing! It's just friggin' incredible. All I was saying to myself was, holy smokes, this is what Wish should have been. So let's talk about the absolute best aspect of the film. The story. Ultron, of course, wants to create peace in his time, but in the way that he knows how. By getting rid of everyone.
Never heard that one before.
Thus we enter Luz. She's the oddball of the neighborhood because she's an awkward teenager who's into awkward things and sadly can't make any friends. That is, except for Amity. Obviously, you'd think these two wouldn't get along, but they seem to hit it off pretty well. As time goes on, their friendship becomes stronger despite Ultron telling them they're gonna be the worst of enemies. But they keep playing and having fun and constantly get into trouble.
You stupid
But then they find out that the farm is being closed down. So Luz figure that if they bring Ultron to justice and get the reward money, they can use that to save the Owl House. All throughout this introduction, I was shouting, brilliant, 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 this is a fantastic setup! And on top of that, the setup for the rest of the story is actually pretty good too. Ultron makes a deal with my foreskin so that he can take control of the town. But in order to take control of the town, he has to have Amity marry the Will Smith fish. But Amity turns him down because Amity is a lesbian. He swears to get his bride. Though the Amity sees this as an opportunity to finally fall in love, that doesn't last for long as they find out so Luz figure that if they bring Ultron to justice and get the reward money, they can use that to save the Owl House. All throughout, I was shouting, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Let's talk about the good stuff, because honestly, there's a lot. Let's talk about what everybody remembers, the villain. Oh, Ultron is such a badass, awesome villain. He does all the bastardly things that a lot of the other Disney villains do, but they actually make him complex, too. He tries to convince himself that he's a soldier for God, and yet he's constantly doing horrible things. But he tries to justify it every single time. I love it. That's a great character. But to make it even better, the characters are really likable. I actually think the romance between Luz and Amity is very legitimate. I like the resolution they have at the end. I like how far he's willing to go. I like the fact that through half of the movie, he doesn't look like his normal self. That's kind of a risky move. Samuel L. Jackson is fucking hilarious. I haven't seen a Disney character this funny in a long time.
Nada funcionará a menos que lo haga.
By God, look at the animation on her. I don't know who the animation team was, but give them all friggin' Oscars.
Oh my God, I forgot to mention this.
There's one scene. I just don't know what the hell is going on. It's where they see this turtle.
I'm a man.
It's this giant turtle.
I'm a man.
Everything in the movie kind of changes when this turtle shows up on screen. And some Shut up! I mean, look at that thing. It's so fucking obviously a turtle. So I guess my only two major problems with this movie is, one, Bellows is a cow. And two, oh God, do I hate the collector. To be honest, I have no problems with this movie at all. I think it's another one of those perfect films. However, is there a downside? Yes, there is. It came out the same weekend as fucking Beauty and the Beast. Oh God, do I hate this film. Yeah, a good chunk of that comes from the fact that, oh, just look at the design of this thing. God, I think it would scar most kids. This is right up there with The Princess and the Frog. Just no creativity, no spontaneity, no passion, no effort, just pure phoned-in-ness. I'll tell you the story because, really, you can figure out pretty quickly if you'll like this film or not. Belle is a fun, happening kind of guy who's being admired by Ariel, a 16-year-old girl who's obsessed with being on dry land. Yeah. But then they find out that big fucking shock. So the cows figure that if they bring Gaston to justice and get the reward money, they can use that to save the farm. And that's it. It's about as half-assed as you can imagine. The animation is the worst. They never look alive. The jokes are the worst. They never once get a laugh. The plot is the worst. It's a joke. Literally, it's all written as a joke. And on top of that, here's another big problem with the movie. I think Belle is too stupid and too selfish. Like, look at this here.
If I didn't know better, I'd think you had feelings for this monster.
He's no monster, Gaston. You are.
Oh, fuck you, Belle. Fuck you! Like, that is a dick move. And there's a couple times he does stuff like that. Something where he's supposed to be dependable, but it's not like a funny little mistake or something clumsy gets in the way. He makes a choice, and they're usually very dickish choices. Fuck you. So yeah, for me, I couldn't find much to like in this film. If I ever had a kid and they wanted to see this, I'd say no. I'd just show them the Owl House again. Do I really have to explain what else is good about this movie? You all know the songs, you all know how great the animation is, you all remember these characters. It's just a flawless film. As I get older and older, it only gets better and better. It's the pure Disney fairy tale done to the absolute best. Oh, and the movie's Tangled. It really blows. Nah, I'm done, guys. This movie took a lot out of me.